Well, let me just start by saying thank you to my Patreons, because they're really the ones that made this trip into paradise completely possible for me and my family. And whew, boy, where we went was paradise. I mean, paradise doesn't even cover it. What you guys are going to see now is going to be some lead-in stock that I shot. I wanted to show you the view of the ocean of this park. It's breathtaking. Breathtaking. I mean, breathtaking. I mean, everything in this park was perfect. It was spotless. It was clean. It was wonderful. It was just wonderful. The whole trip was just wonderful. First, I want to say thank you, ShowDown, for taking the time out of getting ready for this break to stop and talk with me and all of us here on YouTube and to share your life history with radio. I mean, honestly, without him, we wouldn't have the interview, right? I mean, it's straightforward. I want to thank my friend Jared, who runs a little boat touring company there that is amazing. The tour he took us on was, I mean, we're talking sharks and whale sharks and humpback whales and a giant pod of probably 200 plus bottlenose dolphin. I mean, it's amazing. Just amazing. The video that they provided us, and it's just an amazing trip. I want to thank my friend 019, Mr. Lee, my biggest soldier in the grass. The break was just amazing. We're going to do a separate video about that completely, so I don't want to get into that, but there's quite a few people I got to thank from that too. But for right now, let's sit back, let's enjoy our face-to-face interview with the man, the myth, the legend on the Big Island, ShowDown. Gentlemen, I say thanks. Let us go. We're gonna reach up underneath your shirt, and this just clips right on the back. So I like to kind of stick. Oh, I was all dry when I got out of the car.
I know. It's hot and humid.
Here it is.
Oh, cuz I never know somebody would give me a flower.
Yeah. So I tell everybody is just look at me, talk to me like you're talking to me. Don't worry about the camera at all.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we today? Besides freaking paradise, my man.
We in all this mess. Welcome to paradise.
Paradise is an understatement.
Yeah, I know it's hot and humid. You know, but this is where we live.
So tell us all your different handles you've had. Been a few, right?
Let me tell you, yeah, and then some probably. Started back in the day from calling myself 29000, 501 Blues, Rag-S Ragstar, you know, talking, trying to get, following some of my mentors out there. And a bunch of gentlemen from the stateside when they was making the movie Smokey and the Bandit. There was some CBers, I think Smokey and the Bandit CBers out there, Wagon Wheel,
Yeah.
and them guys. They heard us talking skip one day, battling in the islands, and they said, "You're not a 29000, you're a ShowDown. You're putting on a show out here," and I kind of liked that, and I told them, "Wow, I like that," and he said, "From now on, you're a ShowDown," and that's how that whole handle became ShowDown.
So that was in like what, 74, 76, something like that?
Yes, 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 exactly. I started with a walkie-talkie. I heard some gentlemen talking to this one guy called Mod Squad in Honolulu,
Oh yeah.
going for broke. And I heard all the people in the mainland calling him. And I had some upbringing in Chicago. So I said, hey, it's so cool. I want to do something like that. And it went from there. And here I am today.
2023
Yeah.
in paradise. I was joking with you guys on the phone the other day. I swear we should have got 019 in a dinosaur suit to run around in the background. Because this place looks like Jurassic Park. Because this is where they filmed it, right?
Yep,
Oh Lord.
definitely.
So what was your first radio?
My first radio, I can remember it so easy. I went to Walmart. Hear me out. Yes, I
Walmart?
know. Walmart.
Walmart.
Wally World, you know, because
In 1970, 1960,
yeah, they
what?
had these these Cobra 19 radios, and Cobra 19, yeah, and I had a Cobra antenna matching. You know, it comes in a little kit, I guess.
Okay.
And then I did that, and then one of my partners said, "Hey, you need an amplifier for it." I didn't know what the hell that was, you know,
Right.
a bilinear,
Bilinear, yeah.
yeah,
right.
bilinear, yeah. Anyway, so I tried a few, burnt it, of course. Then I would try to get out on the big boys, and I found out I was getting my butt handed to, you know.
Who were the big boys in your day?
The big boys in the day was Mod Squad, you know. There's a lot of great names that I would say, but no one amounted up to that man. I'm just being real.
Yeah.
They can all tell me, oh, what about this guy, that guy? I'm being just real. You know, Mod Squad was the man. You know, if you wanted some respect back in the day, even though we gave him a bunch of shit, you know,
Yeah.
to gain respect from him, you had to show him respect.
That's the way it should work,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I thought, you know, by giving him how I would like to be treated, you know, with the respect, you know, not kissing nobody's ass, not, you know, show him the utmost respect. And then I guess after a while, battling with each other for a while, then we became good friends. You know, he's a good technician, you know. That's who kind of inspired me. I wanted to have my name called as much as he was.
Right?
Right, yeah, my God, you know.
Right. It's an addiction getting your name called and
Yeah.
people recognizing that you're running in that league with whoever it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know,
So what was your first amp you got?
my first amp,
Yeah.
it was a Ranger. It was a Rangemaster 500.
How long did it last
3 years.
before you killed it?
No, before I traded it off for something else.
Okay.
I had,
Because you just told me you burned it. That's why I was asking. You.
Well, yeah, I burned it out a few times, and then I put it right back on, you know, and then I got rid of it. But I had Top Cat. Remember old Top Cat?
I've heard the handle.
Yes, Top Cat in Hawaii before. Yeah.
Top Cat, Big Cat, right?
Yeah, big Indian brother,
Okay.
and he see me talking radio one day, and he met me at Laie Point. You know, it's a nice little place in Honolulu. And we was talking, and he said, come by the house one day. So he went inside my amplifier, went inside my radio. But by then, I grew up to President Grant. So
I've had a Grant.
yeah, so I put the President Grant. He matched it all up in the amplifier, and he said, now you're gonna talk. And I said, excuse me? So he checked out everything. He said, now you're gonna talk. So, and he said, you know what? Don't try to be nobody. Be yourself. You got gift for gab. Be yourself, and you don't have to copy no one. Just, you know, you had, you know, mainland bringing up. You had Hawaii bringing up. You've been around. Be yourself. No one sounds like you.
Yeah.
So I state who I am. You know.
Right.
I don't act like no one. I am who I am.
Just a tough SOB.
Some say. Some say. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your first antenna that you had that you were like, oh my God, this is gonna make everybody's gonna hear me now?
You know, from having those mag mounts when you first started, and then getting into, you know, everything else, my first battle antennas that I ever picked up was from Muscle Man Larry Mosley from Flintwood, Michigan. He, to me,
How well did you, hold on one sec, how well did you know him? Because he is like, in my mind, when the Hill people are singing songs about CB radio operators, you know what I mean? He's like one of the people that is like a living, breathing, passed on legend.
yes,
Muscle.
yes,
Muscle.
Muscle Man Mobile.
How many transistors do you think he had in that? Because the opinion varies, right?
Okay, he had a 90, 98, 96 pill or 90 something pill box. He has a lot bigger ones.
Yeah.
And he went to a break one day, and he broke down on the road, getting to the break. Couldn't make it, so he had his van towed to the break.
Right.
He went on the line without his motors cut off, and he whooped everybody's butt. Stood there flat, DC out everyone. AC, sky's the limit, DC, sky's the limit. Tell me that ain't bad.
Well, I've heard a couple different things, like that was actually like a 300 transistor amp inside that van.
Oh yeah, at the time?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that was really close to him that we can sit down and get that history.
Right.
Like
It was
the
me
exact-
and Lonnie, my partner, 25, called Lonnie Baker.
Yeah.
He's one of the old timer CBers. He was very close with Muscle Man and myself, and
Is he
he
still
went
around?
he went to the break with him. And when he told me about the 96 pill, I think he dropped down 100 and something pills, probably at that break when he bought that box. Yeah. It was a pretty big box, but not no 300 pills. No.
Got your
Probably
tales
with
about
all the
him.
drivers and everything, if you add everything, probably, you know. Yeah.
Got your tales about him that he had to lay on like a coffin or a gurney or something to roll inside to work on the box. He's built into the inside the van.
Yeah, he's badass. So I had all kinds of Muscle Man antennas. I'm trying to locate, if anyone has one, I'm trying to locate one.
Our buddy Bob's got one of like everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he's honest.
Because if I got it, then, you know, I got a good memorabilia from one of the guys who I started out with, you know. I wish I
almost
kept
guarantee you somebody that's going to watch this video is going to reach out and be like, hey man, I got one. Do you want it?
Yeah, well,
You know what I mean?
I'm reaching out.
So you got your first set of decent antennas were from Muscle.
Yes.
And then where'd you go from there?
Where I went from there, I might have bought, like everyone else in CB world, I might have bought everything, you know, on the market.
Yeah.
Just because there was a hype, and I wanted to be different than everyone, and everyone can vouch in Hawaii that if it, you know, I'm like Mikey. Hey, give it to Mikey, he'll eat anything.
Right.
So hey, I'll eat it, I burn it, I learn it. You know, so I
First
know
base
what
antenna,
works.
then.
Yeah, I know what
What
works.
was your first base antenna?
My first base antenna, it was an Antron 99. Burp.
Hey,
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yes, and my first beam, I built my homemade beam in a valley, a single, you know, dipole.
Right.
Yeah, and then, you know, I went on from there, just building all types of different, you know, antennas. And then now I got some really big antennas. So
That's what she said. Who are you, and who did you just decide to join us with? Who is this? No? All right. We just we got visited here by a guest.
Yeah. You know how that is.
Oh yeah. So what was your first big radio that you thought was like your big, listen to me now, baddest modulation big radio you got?
Right now, and everyone sees it on Facebook, I run a 2995.
Yeah.
I call it my barefooted transceiver.
Is that who you're
I
whipping
threw
on
it
all
on the
boys with?
grass, and I showed everybody that, you know, a barefooted radio can kick ass with all the malls out there.
That's what
Yeah.
you were doing today, right?
Yes, I was doing yesterday.
Yeah.
I had that thing down barefooted on a beam and just taking my airtime. Yeah.
So let's wind the clock back to the beginning. So we were all born, we all came into this world, and then for some reason we got introduced to radio. What's your story? How did you first discover radio?
I was a little man. My dad used to work for the cab company,
Okay.
and he sat me down on his desk one day. He drives the cab, but then it was his turn to do dispatching. So I sat down on a desk with him, legs wide open, microphone, and all the taxi cab drivers used to call him with the numbers and whatnot and tell him where they're going. And then, so he tells me what to say on the radio, you know.
Just having being father-son, right?
Yes, and then when they come back, they used to tip me instead of my dad. And he used to go, wow, you got all the tips. I don't. So he would laugh. So that was my first initial to radio.
Okay.
And then as I grew up, I had a chance to go live in Chicago. Long story. Anyway, I lived in Chicago, and my step-granddad, rest of his soul, he was a country preacher man, or he was a deacon in Chicago that had a CB radio, and he would preach the gospel and everything to Sundays to the church. He was a deacon, and he would hand us glasses, you know, and sit there in a chair and, you know, keep quiet because he's preaching the gospel. And we used to look on the side, and there's a cutout in his seat or something. He had something in his trunk, and we used to wondering when it's going to go boom because, you know, we didn't know no better.
Right.
And that's how it all started, you know. And then when I came back to Hawaii after touring, I passed by a vehicle, and I heard all this brothers and every ethnic background calling, Mod Squad, Mod Squad, Mod Squad, Mod Squad. And I could hear this guy repeating himself, saying what he says. And I was amazed on how much people is calling this one person. And I said, I want to do that one day. I want to experience it.
Right.
And being a fighter, I experienced a lot. So, you know, here I am today. I'm still trying to get out.
So, how old were you when you started fighting? Because I feel like that's a big part of who you are. Like, that's like at the core of who you are as a person.
I've been fighting since I was a young boy. I was boxing for my grandfather.
Right.
You know,
So you grew up in a gym with him then?
Yes. I'm a grandson boxer. You know, I boxed, and then from boxing, people don't fight fair. And I seen too much. And I told myself, I need to know more than boxing. So I experienced a lot of martial arts in my life. You know, I tried kung fu, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu. I tried a lot of different backgrounds. But the man who, you know, at just trying it out. But the man who really started me was Mr. Clement J. Vieira for the Vieira's International Kempo School of Self-Defense. I wanted to be a kickboxer in his Kempo school. Right. And he looked at me like, I don't even, if you know how to fight, I don't know who you are or what. So I said, okay. And he said, if I'll give you a week or two free classes, come down and join us. And, you know, we'll see, we'll talk sorry. So I entered his school, and very, very good instructors. We had, you know, him, Mr. Paul Allen, and they took me under the wing. Then I had a Grandmaster, Walter Master Godin, and it just went off from there. You know, our school branches it's just phenomenal, and
So that's
I
where
am
you
who
got
I
your
am today.
competitive, just your drive.
Yes, I fought New York's champion in Black Belt magazine, 10-time world's kickboxer. I fought him in Hawaii in a tournament. I'm in Black Belt magazine with him. I
Remember
fought a
what
lot of
years?
names.
We could go find those photos. What year were you
It
in?
was it was in Black Belt magazine, I think, in the 90s. Yeah, I forgot that because I fought in the Blaisdell with Dennis Alexio in the Blaisdell. One of his fights, I think, was the Mad Dog when he was fighting Mad Dog in Hawaii. I fought on his card as a preliminary. I did have a standing ovation. I did win fight of the night. I won my match. Yeah.
See if we can find some pictures. We'll put them in.
Some
It's
old
not
films.
just the history of radio.
Some
It's
old
not,
films, yeah.
it's not the history of radio I'm after. It's like the history of the person.
I had one man believed in me so much. It was my instructor, and he took me from the ground. You know, he seen my spark for action,
Right.
and everybody who knows me, yeah, bring it. You want some? Come get some. I bring tears to my eye. Yeah.
So you got the Grant, you got the Muscle Man antennas, and you got your Amtron. What was your next antenna from there? That
I fell in love with beams. Phenomenal.
yeah,
And I
so
went
much
from
easier to do it with the antenna than it is an amp. Would
yes,
you agree?
yes, like by far. But that to me, that is a kit and caboodle. It's, you can have the most cheapest equipment out there.
Yeah. Hooked up to a
And
good antenna, you're talking.
yes, you're talking, like by far. You know, it's amazing what signal does, what transmitted signal does, and you meet the right people and they design things, and you experiment with them and you run it, and it gives me a sense of look, I'm running technology for a change instead of something that I came up with. Then I tell myself, slap myself in the head, hey, I came up with this. That's technology, you know, even though some people don't agree about it, you know. So that's how it works.
So I don't know about you. I've yet to have a real original thought in my head, I feel like sometimes. Right? And everything I've ever done is just something that I've learned from somebody else, like Prime and Jacket, you know, those guys, they learned from somebody else. They added their own little twist to it. Donald Casanova Shockwave out of Connecticut, he's another one of my teachers. You know, 418 down in Texas, he helped me out a lot. Every single one of these people, they showed me the path, but then you add a little bit of flavor to it. Just kind of like you do with the martial arts, you
Yes.
add a little bit of flavor
Yes.
to it, you know. So who do you work with to help you start understanding antennas? And we're going to come back to that. We're going to make this a running theme, you know what I mean?
You know, I was intrigued by everyone. If they couldn't do it,
a mentor
I
in
can do it.
radio? Like antenna radio, like antenna theory. Like who was your mentor for that?
It was Muscle Man,
Muscle.
yes, and he told me, use your imagination. Broad, is unendless. You know, your imagination can run wild, and your imagination can cost you, and your imagination can make you successful, or your imagination can make you unsuccessful. It depends how you ride that horse, you know. And when I started antennas, I did every type of gamma you can think about. They're cheating this, doing that. I needed to learn. If it don't work, I've been
It's
there.
going to fail, or is it going to get hot?
Yes.
Is it going to melt
So if
down?
anyone else has a problem, I've been there. Listen to what I said. Why? Because you're going to just follow the steps I did. Why beat the bush, you know?
Let me save you the headache and go from here to here, and then you're done.
Yeah, it's, you know.
And you guys over here, you've got your own unique set of challenges with the moisture and the salt water. And then the gas that comes off the volcano, for God's sake, the bog gas that comes off that thing. We have that mutual friend that lives right down the hill, not too far from you. His antenna is like rotting off the thing 2 or 3 times since I've known him in 10 years. So
Yeah. So I keep it clean. I take it down. You know, I pressure wash my beams.
Yeah.
You know, I do the maintenance. You know, a lot of guys don't want to touch the antenna for 2 or 3 years. My antenna comes down every 3 months. You know, I clean it. If it don't come down, I lower it down as low as I can. I spray it off, and I pressure washes it. You know, and I dry it off really well.
Have you ever done any coatings on the antennas, like Flex Seal or any stuff like that try and keep the water out?
Yeah, I had tried, but I have found that after a while, by the vibration and the wind and this and that, you know, it'll get in there. You know,
So in your opinion, what's the best way to seal up the coax, like at the feed point? Let's
at
go
the
there.
feed point, you know that rubber tape
Butyl.
the electrical, yeah. Anyway, to me, you know, some guys will put the liquid black tape first, let it dry it up really well, and then they go ahead and use that tape.
Yeah.
And I use that tape. You know, I don't use it one wrap. I go back, and then I come back again the third time. But I perceive if it's an error like this, I'll come back here.
Yeah.
You know, I really want it, you know, watertight. Yeah.
So in a coastal community like this, what do you think the lifespan of coax is? In
In
my
Hawaii?
opinion, I think it'd be a couple of years.
You got it on the head.
Okay.
2-3 years in Hawaii.
So like
That's it.
anybody that's in like San Diego, or I got a friend of mine. His name's Gary, and he buys a new antenna about every 5 years. But he coats the crap out of the antenna. He's like less than a half a mile from the ocean, and all that salt air comes in there, and he goes, man, even with me coating this thing and washing it,
Yeah, I
it
can
just
show you.
disintegrates. The antenna just disintegrates.
It does, man. The oxidation we have here is terrible to none. That's the biggest thing. So you totally, you know, you maintenance, you know, you got to keep it. You want to talk, you got to keep it right. You know, you just can't set it and forget it. It's not emerald, you know.
See, in a lot of the country, they don't have. It's the salt that's in the air that causes the problem. I
Yeah.
think, me personally. Like my stuff, I could set it up. I mean, I go up there every year and work on it, but a lot of guys, they set it and you're good to go for like 5-10 years, and that's not the case here then.
Yeah, no, not here, not here. We got bad. You know, just the sun rays alone is intense.
Well, yeah, you're a little bit closer than the rest of us.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of light-skinned. I was dark. No.
Dude. I'm a little pink myself. man.
Yeah, I heard
I've
that.
been here for a week. It's been great.
Hey, he took his hat off. He's bald as shit.
Well, yeah. Everybody in the world knows I'm bald. But I'm pink. My head's pink as hell.
I heard that.
That was from 2 hours of snorkeling the other day, and that was with dude.
That's
We did
crazy.
everything we could to keep the sun off of us.
You ought to see
Both
the
me
big
and my
things in the
wife.
water.
Oh.
We got big sharks and big stingrays in the water. You got to be careful. That's why you see
We'll
all the
talk
local
off
guys.
We'll talk off camera about what happened yesterday. I had a great day yesterday. I had a good friend of mine. He's a radio operator here. His family owns a chartering service, and they took me and my wife out, a little private tour, and we had a blast. Dude, the hospitality here is like nothing I've ever experienced anywhere in the world. And last time I came here and this time, it's just been crazy.
we like, you know, Hawaii. I can't speak for everyone. I speak from me and my experience in my lifetime. I had it hard. I had it easy. I could have went one way or another.
Yeah.
But the aloha, the gratitude that people have for one another, the love they have for one another, for loving their children as well as them. It does not matter what ethnic background you come from. It's just the aloha when you live here and you feel the hardship that we have here in paradise. You know, not necessarily the drugs or the stealing, the ripping, besides all of that, okay? People love to get together and show their house, their warmness, when they give from their heart, they don't expect nothing back in return because you would do the same for them. So when we all pitch together, it's from our heart, not saying that, oh, if I don't do something, I look shame. Make shame. I don't care you come with a bag of potato chips. You donate it to the cause.
Right.
Okay, that's what you could afford, you know. But everyone pitches in, you know, it's a big family. We all hug each other. We all pray with each other. If one of us feels sick or ill or anything, we all get together. That's how we are in Hawaii. Everywhere else in the world, they got to worry about somebody behind their back. You know, what this person's saying, what's my next door neighbor saying, what this person's saying. Over here in Hawaii, we don't worry about that. We don't worry about that.
I can only imagine what she's doing.
Yeah. I got.
Stop, bro. Let's go. Huh?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. So, you got the grant, you got the muscle antennas, and then you went to a beam. How many element was your first beam that you built yourself?
A single dipole.
Dipole, okay,
Yeah.
1 element, so driven.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what was the next thing you did after that?
I went to a two element,
Okay.
and I fell in
How'd
love
you
with
figure
that.
out the spacing for the elements?
And
Right or wrong,
Yeah.
what was your thought then developing into what you went to?
I followed the mobile specs,
Okay,
6 feet.
right,
So I tried 6 feet,
right.
and then I played from there to see if I can get the ohms and the ohms. What I was looking for, ohms and SWRs.
Right.
And back then we didn't have the meters, you know, so we only had the SWR meter.
If I
on
move
the
it
radio.
farther away, the SW goes down. Oh my God, that'd be a lot of work.
And you don't know if it's on the frequency and
Right.
until we got the machines.
Right, the grid
And
meter, yeah.
it went from there.
Yeah.
And then I kept on building. My biggest beam that we designed, me and my partner, the 019. It was a 10 element flat side at 50 something feet long. And then that was doing pretty well. And we liked it, we both owned it. And then we found out that by optimizing a 6 element, we had just as much same dB gain and there's everything. But if we had spaced the 10 element out a little further, like say 74 feet,
Yeah.
I think we'd got a winner. So we kind of compact 10 elements like a Jogun, shorter beam, compact. So I said, nah. So we stopped. Excuse me. And then I had Chris from B&M Technology.
I know Chris, he's good.
He built me my
He's so
beam I have
smart.
now.
Oh.
He has the beam I have now. But I modded it because I always play with everything I have.
Oh, yeah. That's part of the fun.
Yeah, if you don't touch it, it ain't fun.
Right.
You know.
Well, that's what she said.
You know, and in the world today, if you change the shoelaces on your shoes, I can pattern it. You catch what I'm saying? Nowadays, everyone changes one part.
Oh, now it's theirs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Why do you think I leave all the stickers on everything I work on? I don't rip nothing off. I just put my logo on it saying, hey, I was here working on it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
Yeah,
not my box. It's not my box. I didn't build it. I just
Yeah.
repaired
So
it.
I seen a lot of that in my lifetime. So I said, okay. But you know, the big thing about it is, the more you get cut down, the more they put you down.
The more you want to stand up. Right? Oh, man. I love my haters. I don't know about you. I love them.
Oh.
I want to hug them. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Yes, because they made me who I am today.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's like they say, oh, you'll never become a fighter. You'll never become this. You know, all your life, if you've been put down all your life, all you want to do is show them wrong, prove to them wrong. Rather, if it'll kill you, hurt you, or anything, you still have that mentality to prove them wrong. And in the CB world, you know, I got let down, put down, talked about, whatever. Everything that a CBR goes through, I've been there.
It's part of the
So
art.
now I just shine it all off.
Right.
And now y'all got to hear what the bullshit comes out of my mouth. And so I sit down and put on my own talk show. And if I got listeners, I got listeners. If I don't, I don't. But I think everyone who knows me and my style talking, you know, I raise an audience, you know. Yes, I do. I like to fight on that thing. I don't like to check in. Hey, check. I'm not a checker, dude.
Yeah.
You want to talk to me? I'm a Super Bowl
It's
talker.
bullshit.
Yeah. I wanna say that's my persona now. I used to be this, I used to be that, but now, you know, I love what I do, and I stand behind it 100%.
So you get the beam going, you get that figured out, and now it's time for us to sit around and talk about linears, and we're going to do it in the hypothetical. You know what I mean? So what was the first, in theory, more than 500 watt box you had going on, you would think?
More than 500 bird or peak?
Peak.
Peak?
Start small, and then we're going to
Okay.
go big.
Okay. Muscle Man.
Muscle. Muscle.
And 777 out of Bam Bam, Alabama.
Okay. Different
Yeah, Mr.
777
Robert.
than what I'm thinking of.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Robert. Yes, Robert was he saved me, as far as want to know something about an amplifier, as well as Top Cat, as well as Muscle Man, as well as a few others. They got me into repairing my own, stitching Texas Stars together for me. They did 2 or 3 or 4 amplifiers for me. When back in the day, the biggest box probably was a Texas Star.
667.
Yes.
Right?
And then it went up to 16, Texas Sweet 16s. And then I had one of the first twin 16s put together, like the 32.
3200V, yeah.
So and then they made that after I had mines. And I said, 777 did it for me. Combined it, strapped it together, everything. Then I want to do some TNTs, since I had a bunch of 12
Oh
packs.
boy, the big step forward, the TNT.
Yeah,
amplifier,
so I
man.
started having him doing that for me back in the day where everybody thought Texas Star, Messengers, and that was the biggest. I already had started strapping things together, homemade. And I wanted to be, hey, everyone, I wanted to be.
Look at me, woo woo. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Everybody
what they
goes
got
through
me,
that, man. Everybody
you know what
does.
they got me? No friends.
It puts a target on your back quickly. If you handle that wrong, it sure can.
Yeah, it did. And I took it wrong too, and then now I take it as, all right, it's a stepping stone, right? I looked at it totally differently now, You say what you want, because one day when Mother Nature's in my favor, I got to let my lip rip too. Fair play, right? Fair play.
Fair play.
Yes, definitely.
So, you get your mobile put together real good. What's the biggest one that you got running that is personally yours? Not we're talking about for other people, because I've heard some good numbers today. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So.
My personal mobile that I have got from Ghost Rider himself. He built my Suburban, put a 10,000 in there. I had it for a while, ran it in Hawaii, and I lost people in my life. Things have changed,
Yeah. Right.
and I didn't care about materialistic things no more. So I sold it, got rid of things, and
So it was a single 10.
yeah, single 10.
Where would you key it at when you go to key up and then swing?
When I was doing that, I was doing say probably about 5 kW, and I'll let it talk 17.
Yeah.
And then when I get up on the gas, I can dead key 17 and put it 30. And back then, that for
That's
me,
a lot still today.
yeah, I had the experience.
Not in the
I
shootout
experienced a
world,
40.
but a day-to-day talking mobile,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah, and then I stopped that, but then I had big 48 pill mobiles, 7 alternators. I had the CB dreams. I lived them. Then I had the CB downs, and you know what I mean. And then I picked myself back up, and I was gonna stop for a while. CB slowed down, and then it picked back up again. So here I am today.
Camera's not waterproof.
Yep, here I am
drizzle.
today.
So then, okay, we're not going to talk about any of that stuff up on the hill, but so what's the biggest that you've had at your house? As a base, let's say.
My bass, 32 pill, steel tube, a skinny boy, 2 tuber, 800s, 24 pills from damn near every box builder, except for you.
There's a couple of them over here, brother.
Yeah. Got a couple big boxes.
They're
here.
all running.
Yeah. But I'm out here. I'm challenging all the boxes here, and
What's your elevation up there where you live now?
you know,
Because right now we're at like 10 feet.
from the sea level. Yeah, I'm pretty high up in the mountains.
Yeah.
In Mountain View, and of course there's Mauna Kea, Mauna Loa, and I'm right. And that's what I was running today. And I'm waiting on his beam to get here to Hawaii. I got me a monster also.
That guy just straight up makes antenna porn.
Yeah, I
The
love
pictures
it.
of his,
I love it.
unbelievable, right?
You know, it's porn for us old man, you know? Buy a big rectal scraper, you know? Oh, excuse me.
In rectum straightener. Yeah. Crack Carter.
I know.
That guy is a
Terrible.
kick in the pants, dude. So you up on the mountain, you're at like 75,000 feet up there on top of the mountain, right? No? Yeah?
Pretty much, 68,
Okay.
70, yeah.
Yeah. God, that's up like my altitude. Up in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so you're up there on top of the mountain. You got yourself your beam set up. And then you start playing with watts. Did you ever plug your 10,000 into the beam?
No, I haven't.
Really?
I really wish I would. But this is my thing is, I can always get another one.
It's true, right?
But I can't, you know, it's like the beams, you can always get another one. But you think about it, really think about it, no. Because once you get the antenna, you only got to keep it maintenance,
Right.
you know, and you got to be satisfied with it. But now I'm going to have the best of two worlds, or three worlds. I got a Chris built, I'm going to have a 955 built, and I got myself an 8-element quad. So I'm going to experience
Yeah,
both
the Quad
worlds.
Nation's a little strong over here, I've noticed.
Yeah, I noticed, but you know,
many people are in that club
I'm the
over
neutral.
here?
I'm the neutral.
Right.
I'm going to own one. I'm going to put it up, but I'm the neutral. I can go either or. You know, I don't represent myself as this or as that. I'm ShowDown. Period.
Right.
You want some? Come get some. You know, I'm handing it out like that. You know,
So you've been all over in this hobby. What's the biggest break you ever went to?
the biggest break I went to was in Honolulu. Showtime, my big brother, well, my baby brother.
I wish we could get him to come over and be on camera with us.
Yeah, you know, but him and the boys in Hawaii, they threw a really big break there. We had over, I would say about 200 people, all lined up in cars. We had gorilla cages, so if you didn't like someone, for $1, so I can put you in there for 5 minutes for $5.
God, I'd never get out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they had me, Mod Squad, and all the big box guys who hold the bow. They had all our asses in the jail, in the gorilla cage. Huh. Now
That's great.
And then the only way out, someone had to pay your minutes out.
That would get spendy fast.
Somebody pays you to get in there,
Right.
and then the only way out, you got to pay for your way out. And then when you pay your way out, you best disappear because somebody can put you right back in. No, that was classic.
Right.
That was classic.
And the money all went to the break, right?
Yes, and you know, trophies, wide, party, luau party, drinks, music, and then we didn't have that for a long, long time until tomorrow.
It is neat to come over here because I have seen, like I look around here right now, I'm going gray. When I go to breaks, it's like a gray hair fest. And that's okay, because that's our history, right? But there's a lot of new people here getting into radio. I've got several of them that are friends, customers, you know, whatnot.
Yes.
A lot of these people are all under 30, dude. How are you guys pulling that off over here?
We was 30 once.
This is true. It was 16 years ago for me, a few more years for you, but I'm saying this is true. We were all 30
We
once,
was
right?
30 once.
Yeah.
Some of us haven't grew up. Some of us grew up where they don't care. A lot of us do care. So we kind of bump heads at times, getting out there fighting. Ah, you old bastard, you young dumb. You know how it goes, back and forth. Anyway,
It ain't funny until somebody brings Viagra into the conversation, in my opinion.
yeah. And medicine man, your ears must be ringing right now. Them blue pills. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, Hawaii, it's a special breed. Everybody loves competition here.
Yeah.
They fight to the death. I don't care. They'll fight you to the death.
Yeah.
You know, they'll fight your mama, your grandpa, your auntie, your uncle, your cousin. They'll fight them all.
At the end of the day, I'll hug though.
At the end of the day, when you know what they say, fight during the day, hug at night.
What? Okay,
That's my-
I'll go with that form of that phrase. Try to
Fight
keep
all
it
day,
G-rated.
hug all night.
Yeah.
Drink and laugh and find out what was wrong, and you know, it's just it's a way of life here.
So what's the biggest amp you've ever seen?
The biggest amp
Personally
I ever
seen.
seen personally,
Yeah.
I went to Bully Bob's.
Bob has got a large collection of stuff there, does he
Yes,
not?
yes.
Yeah.
And I went to Hot Springs, Arkansas.
So you've been to Hot Springs.
Yes, I have. I've been to Hot
What
Springs.
year did you get to go?
I just have won the ISK. Wait, I won the ISK middleweight kickboxing title here in Hawaii, and then I went for the UKAF United States title in Arizona. So after I won the fight, I had the blind man and Big Dog from Hawaii send me from Arizona to meet them in Hot Springs. When I'm the only light-skinned person in the whole Arkansas airport, and the guy goes, the baggage man, and everybody comes down the escalators, and they all looked at me and they said, "Are you lost?" I looked at them, I said, "No, I'm not lost." And then they had said something, and "You're in the wrong town. You need to go back where you came from, ASAP." And I looked at them, and at the same time, the janitor and the other man, they was really serious. And I was like, what? Then I looked outside, I seen cars driving by. And I was like, oh no. Okay, I lived in Chicago. I lived in an all black neighborhood. I lived in an all Hispanic neighborhood. I lived in a white neighborhood. I lived everywhere. I can deal with it. Then something told me look outside again. And I looked and more cars came. And I started, started shaking a little bit. Tell myself, oh, okay, well, I should have taken this guy's advice. Maybe because my ride ain't here yet. I got to leave this airport quick. People's looking in. The same time they kept on looking at me, the lady looked at the monitor on the TV and she said, "That is you." And I turned, looked at the monitor, and I went, oh, shoot. They're playing the fights in a midnight rodeo in Arizona where I fought at. They're playing the fight.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, you just won the this and that. And I said, yeah. Yeah. And then I went to Hot Springs, Arkansas, and I met Prime Minister. I met all the big
Yeah,
bosses.
so what year was that?
Man. It had to be in the 90s, probably man, I can't. Man, Hot Springs, Arkansas. It was quite a while.
How many people do you think were there?
Honestly,
Yeah.
what I seen,
Yeah.
almost 1,000 people.
How long was the shootout line?
Man, all doggone day. All day. All day. I ain't never been to something like that. I seen different mobiles. I seen vans with 2 motors, alternators.
Right.
I seen it all.
I explained that to people. They used to put the motor in the back of the van. They'd flip it around so the alternators are facing to the back of
Yes.
the van. Put the amp in the middle, but then they'd take the entire front of the motor and just encapsulate it in alternators, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they'd have that set up on a separate throttle, and then they'd squirt nitrous on it when they'd go to key, right?
It's a beautiful
nuts,
thing, ain't
right?
it? Yeah. Go big or go home.
Shaw trick right there, man.
Yeah, Sasha, yeah.
I want to go sit down with him.
Sasha.
He is a dude. I talked to him on the phone several times. He is a smart.
I seen that man's antenna system on his van and he blew my mind.
Here comes trouble again. We're going to have to cut the interview off just to convenience her, even though I came 5,000+ miles to do this interview.
She's not here.
Go ahead. What's up?
We have an audience.
I don't know about you. I get stage fright and it sucks back in and it's like cold outside and butthole puckers.
I-
My God.
That's one of my partners, old lady.
Yeah.
They always give me,
Right.
they watch out for me. Yeah.
Well, everybody around you, everybody I've dealt with that's around you, they love you.
Yeah.
And they're trying to look out for you, you know?
Yeah, I love them all, man.
Yeah, that's the way we should treat each other. I don't know.
I treat them like I want to be treated, you know?
Yeah.
And if you can
This
show that.
whole run somebody down to make myself look better mentality that's going on right now, I don't dig that.
No.
You know? And I don't know anybody else that does.
And at the end of the day, you know, yeah, everyone fights. Everyone has different opinions. But when everyone gets together, it can always go away. It all goes away, you know?
I bet you, because this started out as like 80 people were going to be at this thing, right? And then a few more people said they were going to come, and then a few more. And I bet you we'll have over 200 here plus tomorrow. What do you think? You guys somehow even got Doc Adams to come.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted a few other more people to come, you know, and they couldn't make it. But we're going to hold another one probably next year or the following year. I can't really say. But I think Mr. Big Shot in Honolulu is going to throw one. And of course, he got all our support here in the Big Island.
I like it over here on the Big Island because it's like the crime isn't like what it is over there. It's not as hard. You know what I mean?
The TV makes it hype.
I walk around here and I don't see, I mean, I've been all over this island in this last week and I don't see anything that really, I'm sure if you went deep enough, you'd find it in the jungle someplace, but there's not.
Just don't look for it.
Right.
Just don't look for it.
But in Honolulu, it's a different onion to peel. You know what I mean? There's more people closely packed in one place.
Yeah.
You know what
that
I mean?
You have to be on your toes.
Yeah, you have to be alive there. And
Here it's just family orientated.
Yeah.
Like to the max.
Yeah.
You know, if one person hurt, they all hurt.
Yeah.
And they want to make it better.
Yeah.
That's my understanding. You know.
The crime here compared to like Portland and Seattle, like downtown Portland, Seattle, nothing. Downtown Portland, Seattle, it's so sad. It's rough.
They'll shoot you for an orange.
Well, here it's like, no, bro, I got one right on a tree. Come here. You have half the tree if you need it. Come eat.
Yeah. You know, we're self-sufficient here in the islands. You know, grow a lot of fruits and vegetables from every part of the world that can grow here.
Yeah.
And of course, the food is abundant. We have a lot of cattle, a lot of pig, a lot of cattle.
What's the deal with the goats?
The goats?
There's goats everywhere.
Yeah.
You take the main highway going over there, you got to dodge goats going across.
Got goats, yeah, everywhere. In Maui, we got deer. They're overpopulated the islands. Where, what's his name from? 141 and Brass Monkey, where they come from Maui. And my family, my Hawaiian family, they're from Maui also.
So we're going to eat some pig tomorrow that you actually went out and got, right?
Well, we all pitched in.
Because I see some pig over there in some vacuum pack, but
yeah, 065. We got a cooler full also. Make some smoked meat for the boys. We love hunting, you know.
How bad is the pig population here?
To my own expertise, how short period of time I've been here in the islands, and I've been here for a long time, say 20 plus years in a big island.
Right.
Over 20 years in a big island. Anyway, for say of a population of 500 people, so we just ain't giving a number.
Right.
For 500 people, there's 3 times the amount of pigs.
We see them on the highway. You go run down the highway, they're standing on the side of the road just staring at you like,
whoa. They're giving birth like rabbits.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then they say, oh, we have to eradicate, so they got people killing these pigs and the goats and just leaving it out there. And, you know, we have a lot of homeless in Hawaii.
So the goats are a feral animal here then?
Yeah. So
okay.
we have homeless, we have people that are not doing too well, whatnot. Instead of not opening up on hunting bound, because we've been living off the wild for years and years and years. But if the government can control it and make money off of that, you know, so they want us not to hunt, you know, you have to obey by certain things, you only can get certain, you know, we're foraging for our families, we're hungry, you know, and we got to go through all of this just for something, and then you can't trespass here, you can't do that. It's just getting ridiculous.
Put a pop bottle on the end of it and go out there and take care of the sow in the front yard, you know?
You know, to me, Hawaii, this is my icebox. The ocean is my icebox. The land is my icebox. I can get vegetables. I can get, you know, cows, pigs, chickens, ducks, by the wide. by the wide. You know, this is Hawaii is my icebox. I mean, this is my home. You know, I get good shelter from the rain. Anytime I want something fresh to eat, I can go in the water. You know, I want
There's some
fresh
big ass
meat.
shit out there in the ocean. I'm here to tell you. I seen it yesterday.
Yeah.
Big ass shit.
A lot of us local boys we water struck. When we swim, we do our thing, but we just water struck because
Yeah.
we had too many close encounters. You know.
So where's the future over here? I mean, it's like, I know that, in my opinion, I've been around a little hot minute, just a hot minute, and I'm saying that seriously. You guys have got a stronger, younger generation here than I've seen anywhere else in the United States. Like a lot of my guys that I work with over here, they're all in their 20s and 30s, which to me is shocking.
Yeah, I know the younger the generation. It's because I have to give praise and thanks to the moms and dads and
I'm talking radio-wise.
Oh,
Radio-wise.
radio wise, yeah, a lot of them don't want their kids, you know, doing bad things, So, a lot of us show our kids about radios, about hobbies, cars, radios, what have the hobbies, ham, you know. I mentored a few others and some of my good friends. I told them, please go get your ham license and whatnot,
Yeah.
and I mentored a few and some of the radio guys. What do you want to be? A nuisance on the radio? Do you want to be someone to be reckoned with? Do you want to be an asshole? Do you want to be a poot butt? What do you want with this? Oh, I want to do what you do in ShowDown.
Well, brother, believe it or not, we've been sitting here talking for an hour and a half now.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's all good. I'm talking to the man.
Can you believe where we're sitting? I can't believe where I'm sitting right now. I mean, these big soaring mountains, I got it all on video. I'm going to show it as a rolling clip. This is a beautiful park. Why did you choose this park over the ones that are in like downtown Hilo or over there on the other side? Why did they?
It's in a neutral because we got people from all over the island.
Yeah.
So it's like a good neutral spot, and we made the first break here originally.
Yeah.
So, some of us do know the park recreation people, good friends that live around here and whatnot. So
Or somebody knows the family. that runs it.
yes,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
hey, why not?
Right.
And we got facilities, bathrooms, and we got the ocean here. You got the park, volleyball nets. You have fun. That
So have you gotten to play with lithium yet?
no, I heard about it. I got spooked about it when I found out that when it goes, it's a hard thing to put out.
Some of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different kinds of lithium. A lot. So imagine a 6-cell battery bank that's about that long, about yay high. You put two of those together, so now you're talking about a size 12, size 14 shoebox. And you run a 48 pill off that in one alternator. No voltage drop, no voltage sag.
Well, I don't want to say this on camera, but can you get me a set?
Well, I might know a guy.
Okay. Well, we'll talk off the camera.
Well, whatever. I mean, that's what I'm running in my truck. I got a 400 amp alternator, 450 amp alternator on
Yeah,
it.
I'm building
And it doesn't even budge.
Yeah, I'm building a 32 pill for a customer right now. I got about 6 14-volt battery banks in there. And I want to know, I was going to make a call one day to call you, believe it or not, and find out if I can put lithiums with those 14-volt battery banks. No? Okay. So
The power density of the lithium is such that you can get rid of all of those other batteries completely and go down to just, and it's not going to budge.
okay, well, I got that for now.
It is mind-bending. You can run a drill through them. You can set them
Too
on
bad we
fire.
can't get them here in Hawaii, though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, they can, but you've got to pay to have them shipped on a ship
Yeah.
because they can't fly on a plane.
Right.
But,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
It's doable.
All right.
There's a couple that are here that I sent over.
Okay. So
I mean, we
you're
got
gonna send a few more.
mutual friends that have.
Yeah. Well, you have to send a few more. I want to get the mobile right. Yeah.
And then you're going to plug it in? Or are you just going to play with your little 2-pill on your beam? I mean, barefoot radio. I mean, yeah.
Well, I played barefooted. This is why I wanted to be barefooted for a while. I wanted to prove to myself that the beam controls the airwaves, not just the radio.
Yeah.
And I put it against all types of beams that Chris built. I put it against every type of beam there was with a barefooted radio when they have Mother Nature, to see if I can walk in with them at times. Not only when I have Mother Nature, I want to see if I can battle and get out with all these rest of the guys. And it's working. So I know the beam is built correctly, the stretch is done correctly, and I'm getting the correct dB gain. And I don't know what else to say. You know, it's just the tune out, the meters, the MFJs, and everything is just super sweet.
Now, are you the kind of guy that tunes the entire setup based off the MFJ? Or are you the kind
No.
of guy that uses the MFJ to start,
To start,
then you put it away, and then you start playing with your reflex?
Signal, the different meters. I'm, you probably heard it from my partner Lee, that I'm
Fucking lovely.
I'm a zero
Lee is
searcher.
Motherfucker, dude, I love him. He's a good guy.
Sits there and watch me try to take everything to zero. I want zero. I don't want to, oh, you heard this will give you more. I don't care what anybody else wants. I want what I want. And I want everything zero. You know, that's how I work. X zero, SWR zero, I want it zero. And go from there. If it takes away a little, so be it. If it gives me the gain, so be it. I'm not the professional on that part. As long as I've been in it, what my experimenting is, the closer I got to zero, the more talking I did, period. And no one can take that away from me. Why? Because I'm living the
that's
dream.
What you've observed. You played a scientific role in your brain. You're like, okay, so here's the causality of the thing. This is what I'm doing. This is what I adjusted, and this is my end result that you've observed yourself. I love radio for that, dude. That's been my entire career art.
Yeah.
I get
Until
it.
today, I'm still searching for the zero, you know?
It's amazing how much stuff can affect.
I want a perfect world, but you know, we don't live in one, you know? Yeah.
How many people do you think you've helped brought into radio in your time?
More than I can count, bro. And it came from my heart.
Right.
Didn't come from money. A lot of them would tell you straight, I gave from my heart.
Yeah.
I bent over backwards for my friends. I nearly died for one of my friends, you know? And I love the hobby.
Well, it's
Just
like
because
Bruce Lee said, man.
something you're afraid of, that anything that gonna harm me, I get more interested in it because I want to learn why it's gonna harm me, why it's gonna kill me. I need to learn. I need to know, you know? Oh, this punch can knock you out. Oh, what? Oh, okay. If you throw it right, you do it like this. Oh, it can? Oh, shoot, my finger will kill you. You know, it stings. It just stings. And I love the zero. I will sit there and contemplate a mother sucker until I'm green. And I prove them wrong all the time. You can't get it to zero. What? Bring it here. Bring that thing here. I zero it out because I have a hard on for the zero.
Think of how many people's lives you've affected in a positive way with radio. How many people you've brought into this hobby. I know of quite a few that are here today that I've known for a lot of years that you've mentored into this hobby. And the key to having being immortal is living a life worth remembering. Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I love mentoring them.
Your legacy is going to live on. Like our friend over here, Bob, his legacy is going to live on. You know what I mean? Think all the people.
I just love helping. And what I have learned in my past, to set others in a different path, the path that I've been down, the wrong path. I don't want to see nobody walk down there. It's a terrible path. I've been there. And if I can sway them to go a different path and it helps them out a little bit, and then they have to learn from there. I only can guide them and hold their hand so long, and after that I got to release it. And say, you know, like I'll give you an example. 065, my baby brother.
Yeah.
Like a stepson to me. Everyone wanted him to get equipment from a lot of different gentlemen, and he heard everyone battles me all the time. And he went, wait a minute, something wrong here. So he came through me, and I asked him one day, what kind of talking you want to do? And he came on and said, I want to talk the kind of Rogers you getting. Yeah. So I said, all right, you know, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard.
Think about where we started.
Yeah.
You listening to Mod Squad. And that put the fire in your ass to go.
Yes, it did. And the only way, I learned a lot of things, but I think my success in radio is giving those other people a chance to do my experience, what I did. I built a lot of big stations, bigger than I am, because that's the love I have for them. Rather they make it or break it. After I do what I can do and they learn the rest, they're on their own. You can't always, but you can be there to help them repair or guide them, say, hey, go to this guy.
Teach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mentor.
Yeah. And if I can't do that, I did the martial arts. I did mentoring in the martial arts. I made a lot of champions. I did a lot, but what I want to do is give back a lot. And I've been giving and giving and giving till I'm blue in the face. But I'm not blue in the face. I'm not dead yet. I'm still giving, and I still want to teach those who want to learn. I don't know everything, but I think I learned enough to keep alive. Yes, and this game, I didn't know that you can kill yourself in this game. I thought you just get up on there and start talking.
Who was your biggest mentor? I'm going to take you another way, because I told you when we started this that we weren't going to go over that. I don't want to go over that. You asked that we just kind of be respectful of what happened. So we're going to take you another way. Who is your biggest mentor in this game, and how did his hand change you in your path in this game? Radio, that is.
Person who mentored me,
Yeah.
who gave me the world's of shit. And still giving me the world's of shit. And I'm not trying to give him brownie points.
Careful
Damn.
now.
Yeah.
Remember, you're on the world stage now.
Yes. I would have to say truly and honestly, the guy who motivated me, who didn't really mentor me, but stood there and watched me, and on the phone, hey, don't do this, you better than that, and do it this way,
Yeah.
And I hate to say his name, but it was Mod Squad. It was Mod Squad. Then from him, I've learned to branch out and seek those that I wanted to be like. And without him being a hard ass to us, and you know how the rest goes. If somebody for me to look up to, it was Mod Squad at a period of time.
Yeah.
And then I fell in love with the biggest and baddest amplifier builders.
So who taught you about SWR? Out plus coming back, and then who taught you about Coax length, those kind of things?
Was a man.
It Rodney?
No, it wasn't Mod Squad. It was a man called Sonny Awana.
Sonny Awana. What a
Yes.
name, right?
Yes.
That's like a porn star's name. Like, oh,
Well,
my name's Sonny Awana. Zip. Poof.
Yeah, but he was a ham and a CB operator and a technician. He owns Misty Meadow Horse Ranch in Wamanalo. Him and his beautiful wife does all the animals and the horse training for the Hawaii. And he had explained to me what was difficult in the SWR world, what would be theoretically, the function of, just kind of mentored me on that.
Yeah.
And then of course, back and forth with Mod Squad, back and forth with Muscle Man, 777 in Bam Bam, Alabama. I started reaching, and then everything was based on SWRs. Everything was based on reflect. Everything, that blew my mind. It's a different world. It's a different animal, but once you start understanding it, it's to your advantage. You don't burn as much. You don't burn
Don't
as
melt
much.
as much shit.
Yes.
That kid's gonna kill himself.
He is crazy.
Oh well. I mean, come on. We grew up in a world where the quad had 3 wheels on it, and we were breaking our necks.
Yeah.
But hey, you broke your neck. That's part of life. Oh, stupid.
Yeah,
He
be
was
careful.
hauling ass barefoot too.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how
Oh, to
much
be
you love
young
it.
again, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
tough.
nothing hurt every morning yet.
Yeah, just tough.
Man, I appreciate your time today.
No
You got
problem.
anything else you want to say? Anything you want to say?
Uh, we really welcome you here, BBI. We appreciate your company. You came twice to the islands.
I'll be back.
You know, it's like your second home almost.
Oh,
You know, I the only thing I can say is, you know, keep on practicing good CBing. Always make sure that you have good SWRs, good reflect, and experience it for your life. You know, you do something to experience it in your lifetime. You have to experience something different in your lifetime, you know. And radio's not for everyone. Communications are not for everyone. So they used to tell me, "ShowDown, what are you, you know, what is?" So I categorized myself as I'm a radio communication specialist. That is what I am. I'm not a mall man. I'm not an antenna specialist. I'm not none of that. I'm just a communication specialist.
yeah.
I love communicating, you know, and you know the rest is history. If I reach my goal, I have done it.
Thank you, my man.